Oh, look at that. That's a couple of handsome guys right there.
Right there, right here, right now. What's up? This is FC from E-MTB Review and MTBR. And we have Darren, a very good friend, and he has some products to show us. And how's the show? And
Yeah,
what do you got?
It's been great. Obviously, last year at Otter, we kind of showed for the first time the pre-production version of our new front fork. This year, we're back, and we've been shipping them now for a couple of months.
Oh, wow.
So now it's a finished product. This is our new 9-1 front fork. It's 140 to 170 millimeter, coil sprung, super high performance, Colorado built mountain bike fork. Inverted design, obviously, that's very unique, and we're super excited. So this is both mountain bike and e-mountain bike compatible. Yeah.
The same fork is compatible with either application.
Yeah, so one platform for both.
So inverted has been difficult over the last 30 years. We've been going to Otter for almost 30 years.
Yeah, 29 years.
And so many have tried to solve the problem, and it's not easy.
Yeah.
What have you done to solve this the issues, and what are the issues with
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing is, you know, the inverted forks have been attempted for many years, and the torsional rigidity has always been a problem. So fore-aft stiffness has been very good. The overall fork performance was okay, but just the way it turned and the way it felt. And so the very first thing that we prioritized was looking at the inverted design and saying, you know, what contributes to that torsional flex, and how can we control it? And so you'll see we have a very unique crown design. We actually went through several iterations of different tube shapes because we can control the taper of the tube, the wall thickness, the diameter. The axle was another key component. So the way the axle interface is built is very unique. And so with the inverted design, we have a lot of variables. And so it takes a long time to kind of get that recipe right. And so our biggest struggle was, again, different types of crowns, different types of tube shapes, different types of axle interfaces, and mixing and matching until we finally came up with that really good balance. You get great small bump sensitivity from that fore-aft rigidity, so it reduces bushing bind. And then the torsional is, we've learned how to tune it to make it really work for us, to give a fork that has a very unique cornering feel, very sharp, very direct cornering characteristic. Yeah, it's a very unique product.
I heard too from my friends that ride the new Ibis bike that ride it really well. He goes, it's not the stiffest on the rear, but it helps them turn. And they blow me away on the downhill. So stiffness is not necessarily the ultimate. You know, you need a little bit of movement. Yeah,
and you can. That's, again, the inverted design allows us to tune that. When you have a conventional fork, your stanchion tube diameter is the stanchion tube diameter. And so you have a certain amount of stiffness that comes from that, but the stiffness is overall. You can't really tune it in different areas. And so, yes, you can, a lot of like front end chatter or that feel where your front end is pushing can sometimes come from being too stiff. It's not compliant enough. And so that is one of the things that the invert design does bring. Obviously, coil spring, we are a coil spring company, right? Coil suspension is what push is all about. And so that also gives just a very soft, you know, initial stroke, very compliant. This does feature our air bump stop technology. So underneath this leg, you can add 5 to 50 PSI of air pressure to give you ramp up at the end of the stroke.
Configurable ramp up.
Yeah, so you get really a good supple feel initially, but with the benefit of a ramp-up system or an air system to help boost it up.
And then, so how did it affect weight? And the other question is, does it match up with your rear suspension, which is always a problem. Your rear shock is so good that the front sometimes doesn't match up.
Yeah, and for us, so the damper technology that's in this fork is a copy of our 11.6 technology. So the damper layout, the controls, the valve systems, the tuning, it's all matched with our 11.6 system. And so the way we tune the 11.6 is the same way that we tune the front fork. So the damper technology is the same as the rear damper technology. That's a big thing. As far as weight goes, it's approximately 2,800 grams, which, you know, seems heavy, but again, it's a coil fork. So much like our 11.6, we don't compare it to an air shock. So when you look at it, it's like, yes, it does seem that it's on the heavier side, but the reality is if you were to take a modern, like a 38 or a Zeb and put a coil conversion kit in it, it would weigh more than this.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so this fork is actually lighter than those forks with an aftermarket coil kit.
I see.
Yeah, so it's, if you were looking at apples to apples, you have to compare it to, a coil system. Yeah.
Absolutely. And what's the reception with the public, with your customers?
It's been amazing. Right now we have a waiting list, so we have.
Oh, dang.
So right now we are currently sold out of our current productions. We do have a wait list. You can sign up on our website at pushindustries.com, and we're hoping to have more information over the next couple of months on the waiting list and how you can get one in the future.
Wow, that's a good sign. And finally, some of you guys told me there's a lower cost rear shock that's available.
Yeah, we have our new SV8 shock line. It also features our steel shaft system and oversized eyelet interface. So that is mountain bike and e-mountain bike compatible, and e-mountain bike compatible with yoke mounts such as the Turbo Levo from Specialized.
Right.
So it is approved by us to
fully
work
approved.
on that bike. Yep.
It's not going to break.
Yeah. And so yeah, the SV8 is our universal fit, whereas the 11.6 is a product that's built bike specific. So it comes out of the box ready to ride, all your settings. The SV8 is at a $1,000 price point with spring, mounting hardware. Still all made in Colorado, so it still is a US made product.
Okay.
But it is that universal fit, so you can put it on a number of bikes where we don't have an 11.6 option.
Right.
And you can use aftermarket spring systems, and it's more of a DIY type shock.
So there you go. Good options, high end, and a lot of you guys, the e-bike crowd, I always advise people to buy the $5,000 Levo and upgrade the suspension and the brakes.
That's I love that strategy.
Don't buy the 15. Buy the 5 and
get good suspension.
And get good suspension.
Yeah.
It's gonna do you well. And you guys are feeling that on the sales, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Levo for us the Turbo Levo is one of our most popular selling 11.6 shocks.
Wow.
But yeah, it's a really good application for that bike.
Right, and I'm a user for the last 2 years.
Yeah.
I can attest to it.
Yeah, awesome.
All right. Thanks, Darren.
All right, cheers, thanks.